Joe finally showed up to Harborside, we got into it about Siobhan coming back when Tiso and Delia came
Will you get
back.
to the point? Get to the point. Why isn't my daughter home? There's been 3 people killed. They explode Tiso.
Hey, will you shut up and listen? Can you do that?
All right, now just stop. Let us listen to what he's saying, John. Jack, please lower your voice, or Delia will be out here crying and terrified all over again.
Well, for once, she'll have the right. Siobhan is not here because she is capable of behaving exactly like her father.
Oh, boy.
Oh, no. You're not going out to Sheepshead Bay, John. Now, just...
Well, if he can't bring her back, I can.
We sent him to talk to Siobhan. Can we at least hear what happened?
Well, Delia told us what happened. I thank God the heel of her shoe broke off and she never got into that car. I'm less thankful Tiso Novotny's life was saved, and I'm least thankful at all for sending you out to rescue my daughter.
Don't you dare, John.
Oh, let him go. Let him try to reason with her, and it was reason, Johnny, not rescue. You'll find she's scared to death and stubborn as a mule, and then find Joe, and he'll tell you that he's her family now, and he knows what's best for her. You want a point? Well, maybe that's it. He's her husband, and he's the one she listens to.
Joe's her family. Well, what does that make us?
Helpless, but you want to try? Go ahead.
Jack, don't tell him that. There's nothing we can do any longer, John. You're staying here. Oh, Lord.
Hello.
Hello, darling. Oh, God.
Sweetheart, are you all right?
Sure.
Oh.
Are you going out?
No. It's not important, no.
I thought that I would stay for a while.
I was hoping.
I think we'll all feel better with her out of Brooklyn.
Oh, I couldn't agree with you more, Joe.
Too bad it took an explosion to bring you to your senses. You should have moved her back home the day shot number 1 was fired.
Her home is with me, but I agree with you. She is safer in Riverside right now. As for the fight you obviously won, I don't have time tonight. I'm tempted, but I don't have time. Excuse me, man.
Sure.
Take care, sweetheart.
Make sure
I'll come by tomorrow.
Make sure your gang war doesn't follow you back here.
Will you just... I don't think I can stay here.
Please.
You right about the old man, Joe? He's spoiling for a fight. Had a good one with me just before you walked in. Matter of fact, we're not anywhere near finished, are we?
It's the audacity, Roger. It is the facility with which that child lies. I mean, she had no sooner gotten off the phone with whoever it was than she instantly made up this elaborate story about having to cook dinner for poor, sick Buddy Berrigan, who was not even expecting her when I called him.
You've told me this story 3 times now.
Yes, and I get madder every time I tell it. What the hell is going on?
I gather that your daughter, who has recently become of age, by the way, is out with a male person and she wants to be discreet about it. Apparently, she thinks she's entitled to a little privacy.
Whose side are you on?
The side of reason, possibly. You are obsessed with Kim's sex life. Why?
She's too young.
Nonsense, Ray. In today's world, young people have
Do not give me generalizations. We are not talking about young people. We are talking about one young person, my daughter. And I don't want a dissertation on the changing sexual mores of the past 15 years. There are still such things as immaturity. There is still promiscuity.
And there are still mothers trying to control what they can't, and possibly promoting the situation in the process. Did I ever tell you about my first love affair? My second, actually, but my first grand passion.
Roger.
Her name was Wheezy Brooke, short for Louisa. Louisa Stonehurst Brooke. Her family was even more social than mine.
Roger, who cares?
Her father loathed me. Her mother despised me.
Why? I'm sure you were always perfectly presentable.
Well, they figured that I had designs on Wheezy's virtue.
Didn't you?
Wheezy had lost her virtue 2 years before in summer camp. She lusted after me as I lusted after her.
This is less than comforting, Roger.
I know. It's supposed to be didactic. Now, Wheezy and I had a liaison whenever we could manage it. Her parents made it extremely difficult. No dates on weeknights. She wasn't allowed in my car, in by 11 on the weekends.
How old were you?
I was 16. Wheezy was a half year younger.
Oh, for heaven's sake.
Precocious and driven, Ray. I mean that.
How'd you manage?
Well, I used to come to her house in the evenings, allegedly to study. We'd set up in the library, and then we would repair to her old man's wine cellar in the sub-basement.
Wasn't it chilly?
No, not at all. It was heaven. It was a sense of sin and desperation and putting it over on her folks.
You were damn lucky you didn't get her pregnant.
Extremely. We did suffer, though. What started off as clandestine fun ended up a real emotional involvement. It was dependent and defensive on Wheezy's side. I felt trapped. And the more her parents fought it, the more Wheezy thought she was in love. We even talked about eloping. At least she did.
What happened?
They sent her to France. I got off the hook and I forswore any serious involvements until D.
What became of her?
Wheezy? No idea. She could have 6 kids and living in Scarsdale, or she might be making the Manhattan single bar scene.
I don't want my Kim hurt. That's why.
Then I suggest you let go.
I don't know if I can.
I never felt happier or safer than I do when I'm with you.
I'm glad.
I love being in love. It's been good for me so far. But, you know, sometimes it's not. Sometimes it can make people sad.
That made you sad?
Not recently. I was talking about my mother and Frank Ryan.
Oh, well, Frank Ryan has made a lot of people sad.
You don't like him, do you?
Nope, not at all.
Do you mind him being my lawyer?
Well, it was your choice.
You do mind. Are you jealous?
Kim, Frank Ryan has raised havoc with a lot of lives.
I know. My mother's, for one. I didn't even know she was still hung up on him.
Is she?
Mm-hmm. I could tell at that office that day. She must have been wild when he dropped her. Wild enough, that's what I wonder.
Well, what difference does it make at this point?
I would just like to know. And if she does have those papers, I might be able to find out. You see, there's this safe in her apartment, right behind that big portrait of her. And I've been trying to figure out the combination. This is serious stuff. Anyway, somebody told me that people usually use the numbers from their birthdays, or people close to them. So I tried hers, and I tried mine, which was stupid because she didn't even remember when my birthday was. But they didn't work. Hey, wait a minute, Seneca. Well, when she took that apartment, Frank Ryan was the most important person in her life. Quick, what's his birthday? What's so funny?
How would I know?
You don't really want to talk about Frank Ryan, do you?
You are absolutely right.
Look, excuse me, but I have a word for Joe here. But I'm not going to forget where we left off, I promise you. Now, Joe, I'm grateful to you. Grateful that you brought Siobhan home. Now that you've seen the light, maybe you can answer a question for me. What the hell is going on in Brooklyn?
Now, wait a minute. If you say one more word, I'm going to turn right around and
Sweetheart,
leave.
I have a right to
All
know
right,
what's
I
going on.
won't have it anymore. We're all grateful that Siobhan is home, and let's leave it at that. Now, Joe, tell me, how's your driver? Dealey said that he was critical.
The Glassman's still unconscious, but he's got a fighting chance. Where is Delia?
Oh, she went to have a cuddle with little Joe. The two of them fell asleep. She's holding on to him like he was a teddy bear.
She had quite a scare.
Oh, if she'd been in that car.
If anyone had, if you'd been in that car.
Nobody was. And even in a state of acute shock, Delia managed to meet the press. She gave a very dramatic interview, which you'll probably hear on the news all day tomorrow.
Well, what else are we going to hear on the news tomorrow? How's your uncle going to retaliate for those people who almost killed him tonight? He's going to do something, isn't he? Something violent.
Hey, leave it, Johnny,
Don't
like
do
me.
that, Jack. Thank you, but don't. I've talked to harder men than my father-in-law. What Teasel will do, I don't know. His business is not mine, but I can tell you what I'll do. I'll protect my wife and the child she's carrying. Till tonight, I could manage just fine at home. You didn't agree, but that's all right. I knew. Now I know. She has to move to higher ground. Not that Tizo's enemies will go after her, but a car explodes and innocent bystanders can get hurt. So I decided she should come here. She didn't want to, but we discussed it, and she agreed. Now, understand me, Johnny. This is not the result of your family conference. This isn't happening because you sent Jack to bring Siobhan home. It's me taking the responsibility for my family. I have to go, sweetheart. I'll be fine. So will you. Maeve?
Bye, Joe. Take care.
Good night.
He didn't want to fight. He was trying really hard. You wouldn't even meet him halfway. You wouldn't give him anything.
I gave him my honest feeling.
You were miserable, Daddy. That man's my husband, and you just as much as told him to stay away from here. If this is the only safe place, Joe is the one who really needs it. And if you think that I can get hurt by accident, what do you think is going to happen to him? It's dangerous for him out there, and you just made him stay out there. And if I weren't pregnant...
She's right about that, isn't she?
Joe's in danger? Yeah. Yeah, Joe's in danger.
I wish I could stay.
Yes, so do I.
Well, pretty soon I'm going to make some money, and I'm going to get my own apartment, and then you can stay. Mama or no. Hey, how long has it been since you had to rush a girl home because her mother was waiting for her?
That is an excellent question, isn't it?
No. Don't look like that. It was a joke. I was trying to be funny. See, the point is, you shouldn't take that so seriously. And if I don't, then you won't either. You have no age to me, and I have no age. I love you, and you love me. And it makes me better and wiser, and that's good. I don't know what I'd do without you.
I'm here.
I have to go home, otherwise I'll turn into a huge production with Mother. Now stop. Well, think of it as an acting improvisation. They have to do a lot of that stuff. It's a big part of our training. And please don't look so disapproving.
Well, you wanted a father figure, didn't you?
Not anymore. I want you.
Well, I'd say you're in very good shape.
I'll see ya soon. I have to leave now, otherwise she's going to be really worried. One more time.
Could you relax and try to stop worrying?
I'm not worried. I'm furious.
Could you try and stop that?
All right. Hello, dear. How was your evening? Why don't you just sit down and tell us about it?
There's something about your tone.
No good, huh? Okay, how's this? Well, there you are, sweetie. How was your evening? How's poor sick Buddy? Is he feeling better? I can't stand it. I'll wring her neck. Kimberly.
Yeah, hi.
How was your evening, dear?
Oh, it was wonderful.
Oh, I'm so glad. You know Dr. Coleridge, don't you?
Yes, hi.
Hi, Kim. How are you?
Beautiful.
No, I can see that.
Oh, I'm glad that ministering to the sick gives you so much pleasure. How was Buddy?
Buddy's much better, thanks.
What'd you whip up for dinner?
Chicken soup, of course, and then some chocolate mousse afterwards.
Did you know that some recent medical research proves that chicken soup does have some healing qualities?
No kidding. I bet that's a fact. I know Buddy ate 3 bowls, and when I left, his cough was much better and his head was a lot clearer.
That's remarkable.
I almost called you over there, dear. But then I changed my mind.
Well, you could have. But I'm just as glad you didn't. I hate it when she does that. It makes me feel like such a little girl. Anyway, what did you want?
Oh, the commercial people sent a script over. There's some lines they wanted you to learn for tomorrow's audition.
Oh, great. Thank you.
Yeah, I thought you were such a quick study that you wouldn't have any trouble learning the lines, so I didn't interrupt your evening.
What? Oh, thanks. This looks pretty easy. It's kind of straightforward.
Oh, it's all right. In 8 months, this will all be behind me. Have a bouncing baby boy. That's what he wants, you know, a baby boy. I'll just be happy if Joe makes it till tomorrow. And if Mother and Daddy and you and the kids.
If we what?
If you survive, if you don't get shot or blown up or whatever else is happening next. What have I done?
Well, I can tell you you're in the middle of a very heavy guilt trip. You mean besides that?
I mean, besides that, I mean the cold, hard facts.
Such as?
Such as 3 men being killed in this mess that Tizo will not say is a gang war. Such as guns, explosives, bodyguards, and all the signs of an organized crime that Tizo will not say he's in charge of. He's lying, isn't he?
My opinion.
50-odd times he's looked me right in the eye and assured me completely. He was lying through his teeth.
Yep.
I bought it.
Well, you were told by reliable sources, myself included, that Tiso deserved the benefit of the doubt.
Jack, I was told by my husband.
Okay.
So the next question is, has Joe lied? You and I know Tizo's in this thing all the way. There's no way that Joe couldn't know.
Agreed. But that doesn't mean Joe's in all the way.
How could he tell me that Tizo's retired? How could he do that whole sweet, sincere number on me?
He's done it all his life. He's honor-bound to protect Tizo. In return, maybe he's free to run a legitimate fishing business and not have anything to do with the criminal activities.
Maybe.
I'm sorry. It's the best I can do, Siobhan. I have no hard evidence for or against Joe.
But you'd tell me if you did. Either way?
You know I would. God knows I want to believe him.
You do. I just want to make sure I haven't made a mistake of my life.
You married the man you love. That turns out to be a mistake. You'll deal with it.
If it turns out to be a mistake that destroys the family, how do I deal with that?
You mean like Johnny saying that we'll all be shot for breakfast tomorrow? Huh? I think you're playing guilt again. Stick with the facts. Number 1, everybody in this house is alive and well. Number 2, as long as Tiso Novotny stays away, there's no possibility of violence. Right?
Yeah, I guess. Oh, I just want to get in the car with Joe, and I want to drive all day and night, and I want to go to some city where I know what's going on and I don't have to be afraid. This is just crazy.
No. No, it's not.
Yeah, it is. Joe wouldn't leave work. He wouldn't leave his uncle. And what am I talking about? I'm not going anywhere. I can't. All I have to do is wait. But that's really okay because pregnant people have to wait. And married people. Jack.
Hmm?
What if I never see him alive again?
Oh, you will, you will. He's careful and he's well guarded. He'll be okay.
What if things are worse than I think they are? What if the lies are worse? I don't know what's true. That's what terrifies me.
Well, you keep your eyes open and you pay close attention. As far as being scared, well, a certain amount of fear is reasonable. Makes you look both ways before crossing the street.
Thank you. You're honest with me. I can always count on that.
Even when you don't want to hear it. Good night.
Night.